Welcome to my off-grid cabin located in northern Minnesota. In this video, we're going to tap some trees to gather sap for making maple syrup. So last week, the temperatures were in the high 30s to low 40s and then cooling down below freezing at night, which is perfect for maple syrup sap to run. Unfortunately, it's about an entire month too early, so I wasn't prepared at all. Well, that only lasted for about a week, and now it's cooled down again this week, but I'm going to be ready for the next warm-up. So today, I'm going to get the stoves ready to go, and I've pulled out all of the syrup supplies, the bags, and the taps, and things like that. And that way, if it does warm up in the next week or two, we'll be ready to rock. Last year I welded up this little, if you can call it a stove, this little box, and it worked good enough for me to make some syrup last year. But lucky for me, and you probably saw the video when I picked this evaporator up, but this was gifted to me by Mona and Dave, a couple of friends that watched the channel when they upgraded their equipment. So I'm interested to see how much more efficient this is going to be this year. So I brought both of them out, and maybe if things really get crazy with sap, I might end up using them both at the same time. But this will be my primary vessel this year. First thing I gotta do is make sure that my pans fit in here. I never thought about that. I might have to get new pans. Well, I'm glad I checked, because the pans I used last year look like they're a different size. So I'll have to take some measurements and get on Amazon and order a couple new pans for this. And on my contraption, they just nest right in there. Enough room for two of them, and that's how we played it last year. 16 3/4 by 26. All right, now I know what to order. I went and picked up a bunch of free pallets from one of the manufacturers in the area. Chopped them up just a little bit. They still need to be cut, but I thought it was a good source of free wood to burn for making the maple syrup. No sense burning my good firewood. One by 4. I could make something out of that, right? I mean, gosh, that's a nice board. I couldn't resist. I had to save a few of them. I'm on a fixed income, you know. You gotta save those pennies. All right. On the menu tonight, we're gonna make some venison stew. So I'm gonna cheat, and I'm just gonna use one of these little packets of seasoning. It looks pretty easy, so I think even I can handle this. Flour our meat a little bit and brown it up a little bit. Some nice looking venison, healthy meat, harvested on the land. All right, looks like get my hands washed in between here. Just put my floured venison into the pot, and we're gonna cook this till it's nice and browned, and then add in the water, the seasoning, let it simmer for about an hour, throw in the veggies, let it simmer some more, and we should be done. Celery and carrots. Little onion. All right, we'll see you in 45 minutes. She's looking pretty good. The only thing I wished I had was some fresh baked crusty bread. But unfortunately, I didn't make any, so I guess we're going to have to settle for store-bought. What do you think there, old river dog? Do Do you think that we should tap some maple trees today? I think so too. Should we go for a walk in the woods and tap the maple trees? Well, good morning and welcome to the Sugar Bush. Yesterday we tapped a few trees and I found out that I need more supplies. So we're going to make a trip to town this morning. But the proper way to start off the maple syrup season is by enjoying the fruits of your labor. So on this morning's menu, we are having maple flavored Spam. I didn't even know there was such a thing. And to be honest, I tried it while it was in the pan and I give it a 5 out of 10. But we're going to have some homemade pancakes with our homemade syrup from last year. You can see in this syrup jar that we have formed sugar crystals on the bottom. And if you remember from your junior high experiments, this just means that the concentration of sugars is so high that it starts to precipitate out into crystals when the syrup cools. So lesson learned this year, I think we can probably cut the process down temperature-wise and not get as thick of a product as we did last year. But just like everything up here at the tiny cabin, it is a learning process. Whether it's learning how to build, learning how to make maple syrup, learning how to do a myriad of different things. We learn as we go. There's going to be plenty of mistakes, plenty of learning curve. But at the end of the day, we've done something that we've never done before and hopefully either gotten better or even become successful at it. So welcome to the Sugar Bush 2024. Remember in the old days when you would see the cartoons and the cartoon would be of this kid that's running away from home and he'd have this bandana full of food tied onto a stick and he'd have it slung over his shoulders? Keep that thought in your mind. Let's go put out some taps. Yesterday I didn't have enough collection bags, but since I was out in the woods, I figured I'd drill the holes and stick the taps in. And there really hasn't been much activity for day one. I did have one tree that looked like it was dripping down, but I might have to adjust the tap because it didn't look like it was collecting anything. But anyway, I just got to these two big trees and you can see a little bit of liquid has run down the tree where the tap was. So that's a good sign. Same over here. So it looks like they're just starting to run a little bit. Really gonna start warming up now, so. Oh, Grandpa, you decided to join me. You decided to come out of the old nursing van, huh? The old nursing home van. On these big old trees, the problem I'm having is the bark is so thick that when I put the tap spout in, I can't get past the rough bark to get this to hook on the spout. So I think I'm going to have to probably use a hose and a bucket on these great big ones. Good morning, everybody. Today is day one of actually checking the sap to see if it's running, and it's starting. It's starting just a little bit. We capped this one yesterday, and granted, I mean, that's not much, but at least it's a start, right? Right? At least it's a start. We know it's coming. So we're just gonna do a quick once through and look at all the bags and get a final count on how many we have out. And I kind of went here and there when I was putting them out. So I just want to get a solid number in my mind so that I make sure that I check each one every day. I just put these two out yesterday and they were nothing moving on these yet. Those were a couple of my heavy movers last year, so hopefully they're going to do as well this year again. The ground is so bare. Any snow that we had has melted in the last day or two. And if you remember this time last year, I was using snowshoes to put the taps out. And eventually there was so much water I had to change locations because there was so much snow melt. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3. All right. It's a little chilly this morning, but it's supposed to warm up nicely today and then continue to warm up throughout the week. So I'm looking forward to some really nice weather. All right, I'm gonna count the bags and do a double check, and I'll catch up with you guys later. I noticed one over here is flowing, but that's the only one out of 28 taps. And that's right in the sun, so I wonder if this tree heats up faster than the others. Tastes like plastic. Well, everybody, it's that time again. The sap isn't really flowing yet, so I think over the next few days it's supposed to cool down, and then it's supposed to get warm again. So I think I'm going to end the video for this week now. And next week's video, I'm sure we'll be making maple syrup. So stay tuned, and you know the deal. I love you guys, and I will see you soon.